Welcome, everybody, to Feature Fridays here with Uplifter. Hi, I'm Jackie Kwan, co-founder of Uplifter, and with me again today, and I'm not bored of this every week. I actually love our Feature Fridays. Garrett Trott, our product expert. I
Hello,
do.
everybody.
I do. I just wanted to know how much I appreciate the two of us being able to do this on Fridays. It's nice. It's really
It is
nice.
nice. I enjoy it as well.
Yeah. So, thanks everybody for joining us. It's been a bit of a heavy week. I won't lie to you. I hope everybody out there is staying safe and is doing all right. I know it's been a challenging week for so many, and just a little shout out to everybody to let everybody know that we are here. We'd like to help you guys out as much as we can. So, without further ado, today we are going to work on and talk about package purchase add to cart buttons.
You got it.
I'm sorry, this is one of those features that I won't lie to you as well, everybody, is that this is a feature that it's a little bit more of an advanced feature, so you do need to have some skills and comfort with updating HTML source code, but it is a very powerful feature because we do know that we have a lot of clubs that want to leverage the registration process within Uplifter in very specific and unique ways, and this is one of those tools that we built so that clubs can really up their game, as it were, in terms of being able
Yeah.
to simplify how it is that they actually set up a registration if they want multiple things to happen all at once. So without further ado, I am going to let Garrett show us how package purchase add to cart HTML buttons work.
That is a mouthful. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you're doing very well in these uncertain times. As Jackie noted, we are going to do a package purchase product add to cart blah 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 code blah 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 button. So anyways, let's get started. Basically, what we want to do is we want to offer a button on our public site that when someone clicks it, they get multiple items added to the cart with just that one single click. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do this for our basketball camp. And as this text here says, they're going to get the full week camp, they're going to get a camp lunch, and then they're going to get a personalized jersey when they get this deal here. So we're going to add those three items with just a single click. Now, in order to get started with this or with any instance of this package purchase option, you'll need to get the add to cart code for all of the items that you want to add to your cart. So for this, we're going to navigate to the administrative side, and I'm going to add one program and two products for this. So I'm going to navigate to products and programs. And the first thing that I want is the basketball camp full program here. So I'm going to select to edit this. And on the edit screen here, I'm going to select to show HTML add to cart code. And I'm going to copy the whole thing. Now I'm going to do Control C, or you can do right click copy, and then I'm just going to paste it into a notepad. So here I have Notepad++. You can use just a regular PC notepad or whatever's on Mac there. I don't generally recommend that you use Microsoft Word. Instead of, you should use something a little bit more basic than that. Anyway, so once you've got that code, you can move on to the next items here. I'm going to navigate to products and programs, products and subscriptions. And from here, I'm going to be able to access the add to cart code for the other items that I want to add. The first one is going to be the camp lunch. So again, I'm just going to select to edit this item. And from here, I'm going to show HTML add to cart. And I'm going to copy the entirety. And again, I'm going to paste it into my notepad here. I'm just going to put some spaces in between the two so I can differentiate between the ones that I've copied over. And last but not least, I'm going to grab this basketball jersey product. And I'm going to select show HTML add to cart. And I'm going to copy that whole thing and paste that in. Perfect. So now that I have my codes, I'm ready to go. But before we jump into this, I want to make one small note, one caveat of this feature. It's true to say that you can really include any item in these package programs and these package buttons here, but you'll want to avoid adding things like your insurance fees, like your GO or your SC or your GBC fees, memberships and things of that nature. These automated memberships, these should have the autonomy to make judgments about whether or not they need to be applied during the checkout process rather than being automatically included. And what I mean by that is if I register at your club and I get your insurance fee applied, and then later on I go and purchase this package, If that package includes the insurance fee, that user is going to experience errors during the checkout process and won't actually be able to check out. So you'll want to avoid these fees, because if I do buy this package product and I need this fee, it'll automatically apply anyway. So you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to include that. So now that I have these three add to cart code options here, what I want to do is I need to sort of strip and pick some of these bits here and grab some of these elements. Now, this requires us to look at this HTML code and understand some of the fundamentals. Now, you don't need to understand everything that's going on here, absolutely not, but you'll need to be able to identify what's known as a tag. Now, in HTML, a tag is essentially just a less than symbol, a keyword, and then a greater than symbol. Now, sometimes there can be some extra text in there, but it will always open with a less than symbol and always close with greater than. Whatever's in between here is the tag. So what we can do here is we can find the end of each tag and click enter. So here we see a less than symbol. There's our tag name, our keyword input. And as we go along here, there's the close, and we're going to hit enter. And we're just going to do that for all of these, just to split out these into individual lines. So now we can see this in a little bit of a clearer, cleaner fashion. Now, one thing about most tags in HTML is they'll have a closing tag as well. So we see form here. This is the opening version of it, and this is the closing version of it. It just has a little slash before the keyword. Some of the other elements in HTML will have a slash at the end, like these inputs, and that just indicates that they end by themselves. They don't need a closing element. Now, I know that might still be a little bit confusing, but all you really need to know is that you want to look for these keywords with the less than, keyword, greater than, and split them out into individual lines. Once you have this, you can sort of discern what's going on here a little bit more cleanly. Now, remember, this is the program that we copied first. And so here we can see a couple of things that are happening, but one of the things that we want to look for is the keyword product ID. So as we scan through here, we can sort of read all these different texts, and eventually we'll come along to the product ID. This is what's telling the system what to add to the cart. So product ID 18 will end up being our program. So we actually want to add a little bit of space around this guy here. So this is our product here, our program. The other thing that we want to look for is the keyword register. So as we sort of scan through here, here we are, value equals register. This is what shows up on our button. So if you do want to change what the button says, maybe you want to say add to cart or get the package or register, whatever you like to do, you can change that up right here. So value equals register, you just change that code. If you're looking at different, sometimes that'll say a little bit different. If you're looking at products or subscriptions, that might say value equals add, but you'll see that on a button. We'll take a look at that in just a moment to get more clarity on that. So basically we have our form here, and we've got some spaces around the actual item that we're adding. Now, if we copied just this code here and added it to our source code, this would generate a button for just this one product, but we want it for multiple products. So what we're going to do is in the other form that we copied from our product, we're going to do the same thing where we're going to space things out again. We're going to find those endings to our tags, those greater than symbols, and we're just going to go slightly to the right-hand side of it and hit enter. To the right-hand side of the greater than, hit enter. And that's all we need to do. And once we've done that, now we have a bit of a cleaner, more easily understandable segment. And now we can see, look for that sort of key phrasing product ID, which is going to be in this instance in the third line. And we're actually going to copy this. And once we copy this, we can take this up back to the first form and paste it in. Now, where you paste it in also dictates the order in which these items are going to be added to your cart. So for me, I want my program to be added first, and I know that this is my program because it's the only one there right now. So I'm going to hit enter after that and paste in that new product. Excellent. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this other code, but I'm also going to show you guys that you don't need to do this spacing out. As you become more familiar with these sort of this code here, you can actually just look for that product ID and you can scan to the right-hand side and find the closing of that tag, the greater than symbol, and then scan back to the less than symbol that opens it, and you can copy that because that's what we want to copy. And again, I'm going to put that after the last item here. So now I have my order. So now that I have these items in place, I can copy this code that I've just generated. And now that I have that, I'm going to pop over to the public side, and I'm going to edit the section where I want to paste this in. Now here's the button that we want, but we can't access it through the button itself. We need to actually generate this ourselves. So I'm going to select the source code. Now when I do that, our experience with the form stuff that we just did is going to help us, because we know we need to look for keywords and key phrasing in order to find whereabouts we want to place things. So when we're looking at this code here, compared to what's on the actual page, we can see click here to get the deal and click here to get the deal. And we know that tags open up with the less than symbol, the keyword, and then the greater than symbol. And if there's no slash here, then we go over and we can see that there's the closing one with the slash with the A. So it's the same keyword. So we know that this represents our button. So instead, what we'll do is we're going to remove what's there presently, and we're going to paste in the code that we just generated. Now, right now it says click here to get the deal. And we talked a little bit about how this button says whatever this value is. We talked about where you can see that register button. So maybe we want to change that. But before we do that, let's click OK. And so now we can see it says register. It pops up with a little tooltip that says add to cart. And we could click this right now, but please be sure to save before you test. But what we can do instead is let's go back into the source code. Let's look for that keyword register. It's down at the bottom here, and let's change that to get the deal. And let's click OK. Excellent. So now our button says get the deal because that's what we want it to say. And now we're ready to go. So once I click out of there, before I test this button, I absolutely want to click Save Page, because you're going to be taken away from this page in many cases. So we don't want to test that before we save. All right, so now we've added in our code, we've saved our page, we're ready to test. So let's click Get the Deal. So what happens when you have a package that you've just generated? Well, the system's able to identify not only that it's a package option, but how many items are in that package. So we can see the very first item that I entered into my package was the program. I decided the order of these items. We can also see that there is one of three listed here. So now I get to pick who I want to be in this program. And I can go to next, I can go to skip, or I can cancel altogether. Very similarly, I can, of course, add new participants if I'm a brand new user. But in this instance, I'm going to select Amber Smith. That makes more sense. And let's click Next. And that takes me to the next item. The next item was Camp Lunch. That's what I chose. The Camp Lunch has a unique custom field that asks if I have any allergies, and I don't happen to, so I'm happy with this. It defaults to the user that I selected in the first instance so that I don't have to keep picking if the user doesn't change. I can click Next. And last but not least, the basketball jersey, the third out of three items, and I can enter in a name. I want Smith on the back of the jersey. Perfect. And now that's added to my cart. Now, if I go to my cart, what I'm going to notice is not only those items, but as we talked about before, even with not including them in the package, I see the administrative fee, I see the insurance fee, because those were mandatory subscriptions that I have yet to pay for this participant. So those automatically apply. You don't need to include them in the package. And that is that. I can now proceed with making my payments. I get this package item here. If you wanted to introduce discounts and things of that nature, you absolutely can. And then when they have all these items in place, they get, this instance was they were supposed to get the jersey for free, but I didn't make the discount. So they can have that sort of stuff in place. That's no problem.
Did you just bait and switch them?
I did bait and switch, yes. Oh, yeah, we'll just pay now and you'll get the money back later. Uh, yeah, so that is absolutely everything about that. Now, when it comes to generating your code, we certainly understand that there are people out there that have never seen HTML, that don't want to use it, that don't even want to get involved, and that's totally okay. If you are uncertain about that, please let us know, and just let us know what items you want to include in your package, and we can help you generate that code and help you place that onto your system. That's no problem at all.
Wow, awesome, Garrett. Every time you go into the HTML code stuff, I think, oh, is this gonna be okay? And it's like you explain it so simply. It's great.
Thank you.
There's so many ways to actually use this. You don't actually have to use it with programs and products. If you're a club that, for example, you're a skating club and you've set up like a Tuesday class and a Thursday class, and you might want, certain levels of your skaters to actually skate on Tuesdays and Thursdays, you can create them as separate programs so that there's a higher cost, but if they actually add both to cart, it gives you the discount, but it automatically adds both the Tuesday and Thursday to your cart. So there's a number of different ways that you can do it. Camps are a great option in terms of adding like after school program or after hours programs and lunch programs and whatnot. So lots of different options that you can do and actually customize sort of the overall flow of checkout, not just kind of stuck with the standard forms and registration options that we've cultivated or curated for you curated for you initially, but really give you the tools so that you can customize this to your heart's content. So did you have anything else that you wanted to show them, Garrett? Any other tricks up your sleeves?
I wore a t-shirt today, so I don't have any sleeves. Yeah, that's everything I've
bunnies
got.
in your hat?
There are a lot of bunnies in my hat. No, that's actually everything that I have for this. Because it's sort of involved with the HTML, I didn't want to add too much more stuff to this. I know it can be sort of overwhelming to look at all that code if you've never done that before. So if you do have questions or concerns, absolutely please reach out to us. We're always here and ready to help you out. Jackie, anything else that you'd like to add today?
No, I am pretty much done. We can talk about next week a little bit though. So, sorry, what?
I creepily whispered a little bit. I don't know why it was so creepy, but it was.
I thought it was really dodgy. I was
Yeah,
like, oh my God, what did I say wrong? So thank you everybody for joining us again on Feature Friday here. We are here every Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week we actually have been working on a lot of things in the background. We were sidelined slightly for the couple of features that we really wanted to push through to help everybody with the emergency shutdowns that occurred this year. But we're back on track with the things that we did want to work on, and we have revamped our program view page that allows clubs to sort of manage their classes and their programs in terms of their participants. And that is going to be coming up in a subsequent release, and it's a pretty huge revamp, but we think it's great because it's going to give clubs a lot more tools to maximize how it is that they want to manage their classes. So we're going to give you a sneak peek of that next week, and well, we'll see what other tricks Garrett might have up his sleeves if he decides to wear a long sleeve shirt.
I will try to remember.
Don't wear the tank top, okay?
No. Oh,
don't wear the tank top.
That's what I wear every Friday.
Thanks so much, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And as always, if you have any questions, contact us at support@uplifterinc.com, and we will see you guys next week.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.